There are people out there nowadays who take steroids before starting to work out. How sad is that? You know, this might be controversial, but I'm not against TRT. But to the gym, you see 7 people, one of them is going to use steroids at some point in their life. That's see tons. I'm 17 and I'm trend. I'm 15 and I'm on this.
Yeah.
I'm 14 and on this. Like, and I'm like, this is scary. You're worked out before, and you're 25, and now this year you want to start working out 6 days a week. Probably not gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's hard. Not everyone is gonna win. Not everyone.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's just
what pisses me off about New Year's resolutions, like people will make them, and then like in February they don't look at them anymore. It's like, dude, like, do you want it or not, right?
Exactly.
It's kind of, who are you not to be, right? Who are you not to be great, right? Because the glory of God is within all of us, right? And us not like expressing that, it's kind of it does a disservice to everyone else, because then
the classic one I get is, I want to be fit and healthy, but I won't be as big as you. You're way too big. Nobody's like, did I tell you to be like? I know you be getting hate.
Yeah.
I know you be getting hate. People will hate on you for no reason, no valid reason. Like, my thing is like, why does it bother you? Like,
yeah, I see haters and supporters. They're two sides of the same coin. But haters, they just don't know how to show love. They're confused.
They're just trying to do collabs with people, even just organizing stuff. People act kind of entitled a little bit, and it's like, okay, you have the same amount of followers I do. What are you talking about? You guys are not serious. And I know.
All right, welcome back to the show. You already know what it is. Back with yours truly, the Donne himself. Back with another episode. I think this is the first, like, besides the solo one I did, this is the first podcast of the year. And it's the perfect one to start with. You know, we got the special guest, Uncle David, back on the podcast. You already know what it is.
Hey everyone. Thank you for having me back. It's good to be back on your platform. Lots of people actually like ended up learning about me through your podcast, so it's pretty awesome to be here again. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, for people who don't know who you are, do you want to like tell them like the synopsis and all that stuff?
Yeah, my name is David. I'm a trainer / fitness enthusiast. I do personal training, online coaching. I kind of do all of it. I do a little bit of post-rehab therapy, physiotherapy, a lot of different things, but all of it regarding to personal training and fitness. I got my certification in 2020, been practicing on and off with being in school, not able to take as much clients as I would like, but been taking clients here and there. But if you have any questions, any fitness related questions, if you need any programs, just reach out to me. You can DM me on Instagram, TikTok, or comment on any of my videos. I'll make sure to get back to you. But my handles are Uncle David or Fitness with David and any other social media platform. It might be fitness.with.David, but you'll be able to find me. Yeah, that's me.
100p. So let's start off with, we'll do like a little recap of the year. So this year, you've done a little bit more of like did powerlifting?
Yes,
Comp, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so last year, I think it was March.
Okay.
I did like a powerlifting meet. It was my first like fitness competition.
Yeah.
I wanted to do something that would push myself and just be in a high performance environment. You know, when in high school you play around athletes and you get better and it motivates you. So just to recreate that for myself and also try to meet people in the industry, I did the powerlifting meet. It was super awesome, super great. I think I took second place in my weight class.
Oh,
so
shit.
yeah, it was pretty good, man. It was awesome. So with the powerlifting, in case you didn't know, it's squat, deadlift, and bench. So you have 3 tries for each lift, and I only did bench and deadlift. I didn't do the squat. Just I was trying to prevent any knee injuries. I was having a bit of problem with my knees, so I wanted to stay as healthy as possible. So I just did the deadlift and bench, and it went pretty good actually. Like beat my deadlift record even more than what I did in the gym. So I my PR there, like my biggest PR ever was at that lift competition. I mean, so it was pretty awesome, man. I'm really happy that I did it. Yeah, I encourage anyone to do it. Even if you're really a fitness person and you consider yourself a fitness enthusiast and you're really passionate about it, I think it might not be powerlifting, it might be bodybuilding, it might be even just a 10K like sign up thing with a bunch of people, but anything like that, it just pushes you in a different way. Like having something like you're looking forward to, like it forces you to train differently, to be like, to learn, you learn a bunch of new stuff. Like if you pick up strength training and you want to be good, you're forced to read about it, learn about it in a more specific way than you would before. So I definitely encourage, and I'm telling this guy to start benching heavier and start lifting heavier. But like, yeah, it's always good for everyone. Obviously, doing it safely too is important. But taking on a challenge is always good.
I definitely agree with that. Like taking on like challenges and like doing like for example, like you did like sorry, not deadlift, but like powerlifting, like competitions and stuff. It kind of pushes you to like learn more and like push past your like limits and stuff. I definitely, especially like working out with you and stuff like that. Like it actually humbled me. You know, I got humbled, bro. I got humbled because I got to a point where I started thinking like, yo, I already know everything. Yada yada. And then after I work out with you, right, and then he's dropping knowledge on me, like, oh shit, I didn't know that. I was like, maybe I don't know as much as I think I do. Like, maybe I gotta, you know.
Yeah, same thing with me. Even though I had my certification, when I went to that meet, there was this black dude I met. His name is DJ. Like super popular. He's pretty popular on social media, but like had like I think 750 deadlift, 600-pound squat, 400-pound bench, and like he was giving me all these tips. And like he would be like, okay, do this, and I'll do it. I'll be like, wait, that's way better. Like no one has, I've never seen that online. I've never, like all the books I've read, all my textbooks, nothing tells me about these things, but like nothing beats experience, right? So even though I have been doing it, there are people who have been doing it longer, more seriously than I have. So I think meeting people who have been in the industry or been doing what you want to do, really opens your eye to a new door. Like, oh wow, there's so much more that I could learn, and like, let me not be stagnant and think, oh, I'm comfortable. I'm the biggest guy in my friend group, or I'm the most active person at my workplace, or out of my people I go to school with, or whatever. But once you step into a new arena, you're like, oh damn, there's a lot of stuff I need to work on. There's a lot of stuff I can improve on, right? So yeah, I think it's good for everyone. And, that's why I also like training with people that are better in one way or the other, or training with new people, because there's always something they can offer me and there's something I can offer them. And that's why I started like trying to collab with you more, as from an influencer's perspective. You've been doing it longer than I have. There's so much I could learn from you. So yeah, it's with everything in life, I think it's good to challenge yourself, and you learn.
Facts. That's definitely important, like challenging yourself. Speaking of challenges, like do you have like any like New Year's like resolutions or anything like you're striving for this year?
Yeah, a lot of people hate on New Year's resolutions. Like people like act like, oh, you're gonna be the exact same person as last year. I think there is some truth to that. Like you're not gonna become this entirely new person, but I think it's good to set goals. Like it's good to have things you strive for, right? So for some people, me specifically, like my birthday is around that period, and for my birthday and New Year's being together, it gives you like a certain renewed motivation, a renewed like sense of desire to want to achieve certain things. So I use it. I ride that wave. I set my new goals. I start going to the gym more, and I don't say, oh, I'm not gonna change anyway, so I just sit on my ass. like I actually use that to my advantage, and I always encourage every person. Like every New Year's, a new person reaches out to me, train me, and I don't say no. I won't be like, well, you didn't want to train last year, so this year you want to train? No, you're not gonna change. I take them on and I help them set realistic goals, and we work together and we push through. But for me specifically, New Year's resolution, this is quiet as kept. I'm not really broadcasting it out there, but I'm planning on doing a bodybuilding competition in May 25th. So like, yeah, that's what I'm kind of training for right now. And I'm starting my cut and everything. It's going good. Like it's always been like a week or so, but that's my new goal. And like I said, like I always try to take on something new. Probably when I'm done that, I'll take on something new again. Just cause cause I went to watch a bodybuilding competition last year and I was like, damn, this is a different sport. This is more than just going to the gym. There's a lot more than, like you see it sometimes. We watch Mr. Olympia every now and then. You see the Ronnie Colemans and Jay Cutlers and Phil Heaths and all those like or Arnold, and you see all those classic guys and you think, oh, like we could just work out and look like them, but there's so much we don't think about. And I think I'm very excited for the things I'm going to learn. So that's my New Year's resolution of some sorts. How about you? Any New Year's resolution?
Uh, Pretty much like, well, like,
Or how do you feel about them in general?
yeah, I'll just say how I feel about them and then I'll go into
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like I feel like mixed reviews on them. Like I definitely agree. Like some people kind of, what pisses me off about New Year's resolutions, like people will make them and then like in February they don't look at them anymore. It's like, dude, like, do you want it or not? Right?
Exactly.
It's kind of like, it's one of those things. I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those people who would like make these New Year's resolutions and I wouldn't hit it, but eventually, you know, it's gonna piss you off when you don't reach those goals, right? And I feel like, I don't know, it's just one of those things where like, I have nothing really too much against it, but when I see people posting New Year, New Me, and they're doing all this stuff, and then when I know they're like January hustlers and they're February,
next month you're not gonna see them again. Yeah,
it's like, dude, like, do you know how this looks?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. You look like you're somebody that doesn't finish what you say you started. Yeah, like I get what you're saying, but how do you have any actual resolution or?
Yeah, I do actually. I have like, for like kind of basic ones. Like obviously you want to grow more on like social media, stuff like that. Just trying to learn more about content creation, maybe stuff like, and like in terms of like fitness journey, I wanna start training more like an athlete. I want to be, because for the past couple of years I've been just trying to gain muscle hypertrophy, kind of look more like aesthetic, but now I want to be able to like run faster, jump higher, just be athletic. And like, I want to be able to be like a I think they would call it like a hybrid athlete. To be like, you know, I'm like I train like a bodybuilder, but I'm also like athletic.
No, that's really cool, man. Yeah, definitely. Like, it's good to set those goals. And yeah, I think you remember you saying something about that because you play basketball and stuff like that. So that would definitely translate really well for sure. So, that's pretty good, man. If you like have any tips or you need any tips, let me know. I think I have a thing or two to say about like plyometric training. Like I have some ideas, you know. But anyway, that's cool, man.
I'm definitely gonna need those too, because like I'm still like, when it comes to like training like an athlete, like I know like basic stuff like, because I did like some basketball stuff, but I think there's so much I need to learn about like training like an athlete. I feel like it's different than training like a bodybuilder. Like
it's definitely way different. It's completely different. And like, because athletic training, like bodybuilding is actually older than plyometric training. And we've been doing bodybuilding for like maybe 80 years plus now, like since the 40s. But like athletic training specifically, plyometrics is maybe 40 years old. So like there's a lot of new research and new studies, new ways of training, new techniques coming out. And like, you can always continuously educate yourself. And like, obviously you see how the NFL basketball players, they're training. If you look at how Kobe trained versus how LeBron's training, it's different. Like it's because it's ever evolving, right? So like, there's definitely a lot you can learn with those things there. But once you start getting into it, you read more, you research more, you learn a few things. And definitely I'll be more than happy to.
Do you think it's possible to like bulk and like train like an athlete at the same time? Is that possible?
It is, but it's super injury prone. Because what's gonna happen is, as if you're bulking, lots of athletes do this. Like NFL players are forced to do this all the time because they give, like, let's say if a receiver is getting forced to move to tight end, then they're going to be like, okay, you have to gain 30 pounds off season. And while then getting 30 30 pounds. You have to stay fast, athletic. So they are forced to do both at the same time. But what happens is your tendons, your joints, they're not used to that level of stress.
Right,
so
right.
when you're doing all that plyometric training, simultaneously adding weight, your body's going to be like, whoa, what's going on? Because you're already doing all these plyometric training, trying to strengthen your tendons and joints. And now you're adding more weight to it at the same time. It's really, I wouldn't recommend it. Like I would say maintain your weight and like you can build muscle at your weight. But
Or like
also,
main gain.
yeah, maintain your weight and try to build muscle.
So for example, if I'm bulking right now, so I should just focus on the bulk, and then when I'm on the cut, then I can jump into the
or you can, exactly that. But, or you can maintain and try to, if you don't want to lose too much muscle, you can maintain and do your plyometrics, right? But I wouldn't recommend, it's like kind of working in opposite directions as well, because what you need for plyometrics is kind of different for what you need for a bulk. When you're bulking, you want to focus on strength specifically. Like there is some explosive training with strength, but it's not really explosive training. You're just looking for strength, like complete power output rather than like explosiveness. That's completely different. Yeah. So you don't want to do both at the same time, in my opinion. Like I'm sure there are people who have done it and have been fine, but if you talk to the players who have had to do it over and over again, they'll tell you the horror stories where their knee goes out or shoulder injury or whatever. So yeah, no, I would say just focus on one not both at the same time.
So say for example, I'm on a bulk season, and then next season, then I go into a cut season, and I do plies. And what if I want to go on another bulk? Would I just stop doing the plies for a bit?
Like I'll just say slow down on it. Like, okay, this is what I would say. Don't add new things. So don't do stuff that you're not already used to. Like I'd say if you had a 35-inch vert, keep jumping 35 inches. Don't stop jumping, right? Because you want to keep that, but don't start training to get a 40-inch vert while simultaneously trying to bulk, add 20 pounds on your body, on your frame at the same time. Like you just want to maintain like your explosiveness while trying to add on muscle rather than trying to increase your explosive ability while also adding, like, you know what I mean? So just do one and maintain the other, do one, you know? So yeah, that's my little input on it. And it's funny you're asking me this. People I want to say like people who aren't as educated, no offense to you, but like people who are as educated with how the body works often want to combine many goals together all at the same time. Yeah. Like I want to increase my deadlift while losing weight, while getting cardiovascularly fit, while jumping higher, I'm like, okay, some of these goals don't work together. Like let's pick two of them that work together in your favor so you can have the highest level of success or highest chance at success. And then once you get to that goal and you're satisfied and you're happy, you can pivot, right? Pivot and say, okay, now let me focus on this. Now let me try and do something else that I actually want to achieve and maintain those. Like you don't have to lose everything you now worked for. You can still maintain it, but you cannot achieve something else. But I literally was talking to a client today and she was like, oh, I want to do this and that and this and that. And I'm like, okay, we can't do everything all at the same time. It's just not going to work. Like if, for instance, if you have 20 years of experience, then you have that muscle memory built up. So it might be more likely, it might be easier. You have that determination, you have the behavior already in you. It's easy for you to do. But if you're like new to a lot of these things, then they're going to just butt heads. You're going to drop one eventually. And then look, at the end of the year, you look back and you're going to be unhappy. So because you wanted to achieve this thing, but from the start, it wasn't really realistic, you know? So, setting realistic goals, as much as I think that's my only caveat with New Year resolutions, going back to that, is make a New Year resolution, but be honest with yourself. Yeah. Like if you never ever worked out before and you're 25 and now this year you want to start working out 6 days a week, probably not gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's probably only gonna last 3 or 4 weeks, and then you stop. It's not even entirely your fault. It's just your body's not gonna want that. Like, it, eventually your soreness is gonna accumulate. You might attain an injury. Other life stuff will happen. Set a realistic goal. Be like, okay, maybe 2 workouts a week is where I'll start, and then as I do my 2 workouts, or maybe I will eliminate soda from my diet. Start with that.
Start slow.
And set realistic goals. And everybody's different. Some people will start slow and get results really fast, and some people will start fast and get results really slow. So don't really compare yourself to anyone. Just start slow, look at your own behaviors, and pick something realistic that you can add seamlessly into your life. I think that's how to go with that.
Definitely, I definitely agree with that. It kind of segues into my other topics I was going to touch on, was like what motivates you to go to the gym and stuff like that. Like some people like who are just starting off and they're like in the 20, like you said, 25, whatever. Like, for example, like, a lot of guys will ask me like, how do you go to the gym every day? How do you stay motivated? Where is this coming from? You know what I mean? But it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like me telling people what motivates me is not going to work for them, because I feel like everybody's motivated by different things.
Yes.
So you got to find what is it for you.
Yeah. Exactly that. I completely could not agree more with that statement. And like a lot of it too is like just habit. Like most days, yesterday I went to the gym at 11. I did not want to go. Like I just was like, if I don't go today, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be like, why didn't I go?
Yeah.
Because it's such a part of my identity at this point. And that's why last time on the podcast, I remember saying, and maybe I'll stitch these 2 videos together, but I remember saying like, to create that habit and make it a part of your identity, just go to the gym and don't work out. Just go make a habit of going.
Yeah.
So, and eventually once you master that habit, add a new habit. Okay, I'm going to do a 20-minute workout, and then master that habit, and then keep on adding onto it as you go. But like, if you decide to try and do everything all at once, it's going to become overwhelming really, really fast. So that's, for me, a lot of the time, I'm just like, okay, I just need to drive to the gym, get in, change. And literally an hour goes by, I'm done my workout. I'm like, oh, I forgot. Like I didn't even have to think about the rest. I just had to focus on driving to the gym and changing. That's my habit that I need to focus on. Everything takes into overdrive. I just kind of do it naturally. I push myself naturally because I'm used to that.
Yeah.
The hard part is just getting there for me. So yeah, I think that's, and like you said, I understand what motivates me. So I'm not going to give that to someone else. That might not work for someone. Just driving to the gym might not work for somebody else. Yeah. Like some people drive to the gym and just drive back home, right? So yeah, that might not work for everyone, right? So it's finding what you desire. Like, and I think a lot of people don't make your goals just about you, is what I'm starting to learn. Like, for instance, like think about longevity. Like, okay, I want to be healthy for my family. I want to be healthy for my kids. I want to be healthy so I can enjoy the time with other people. And like, when you start thinking in that way, for me, like a Christian, I'm thinking, oh, I want to preserve this body God gave me, you know? So like, once you start thinking that way, you remove yourself out of the equation, and it becomes less about you and more about preserving what you have been given, you know? So that's another way I like to think about it. But
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like I definitely resonate with with my motivation to go is like, I kind of resonate with that, like taking care of my body, because like, you know, God gave it to me and stuff. It's also just like fear of like, what's it called? When I get older and I'm old and I look back and I'd be like, man, like I wasted my potential. I didn't hit the mark. I wasted it. You know, like to me, that would suck.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? I just can't go out like that. That's
I always think that too. Like, and that's part of, I don't know if this is one of your questions for me, but people ask me why I don't take steroids. I hate this question, but people ask me this, or people ask me, am I taking steroids? And that's part of my reason. My reason is, if I take it, to me, it prevents me from seeing what my natural potential is. So if I take something and enhances my potential, then I never know what my body, as it was designed, can naturally do. And to me, knowing that or being able to reach that is the ultimate goal, right? Being able to reach my ultimate, my peak level of fitness. I know I'm not going to get there like this, but like inching forward day by day. Like if I just continue working, I know I'm going to get there eventually. And then I can look back and be like, I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? Like you got to this place that you never thought you might be able to get to. Like I never thought where I am now 5 years ago, I didn't think I'd be here.
Right.
You know what I mean? I never thought I'd be able to hit a 400-pound squat. I never thought I'd be able to hit a 315 bench. I never thought I'd be able to hit like a 500 plus or almost 600-pound deadlift. Like that was crazy numbers to me. Like, but now I've hit those. I'm like, you done that. Like, good job. Like, that's awesome. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's pretty cool to look back like that. And I don't want to stop my future self from being able to do that. Yeah. So.
Yeah. That's really good reason. I think that's kind of the reason I have a similar, pretty much the same reason. It's just like, I never really
deep there like that.
Yeah. Articulated it like that. It's just, it's something in the back of my head.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things like we think about, but like, yeah, that's my big thing. Like, especially what you said about being older and looking back. Yeah, it's the same thing with me. Like, I want to be able to look back and be like, damn, you were like this person. Like, you know, so I think that's pretty cool. And also I want to be that old person that other old people look at and be like, what the heck?
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, aren't you also 74? Like, why are you able to do a pull-up and a push-up and a bench press and like all these lifts? Like, I want to be that old person, right? Like, so I don't want to be like old and be using a walker or not hating on any old person that does that. But like, obviously there's some extraneous circumstances like diseases and stuff that often happen in that age. But if I can do everything in my power naturally to prevent that, why wouldn't I? Yeah. So yeah, that's how I look at it.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's one of those things you just want to be like your best self. Like it's just like, you know, you don't want to be. For me personally, I just don't want to be like old and senile. Like, I don't mean to disrespect, but I just you know what I mean.
I agree. That's exactly what I think. Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah,
100%. Let's see. What else do I got here? Yeah, like what's it called? I also go here into this topic. Like so for a lot of people around this time wanting to start the gym and starting to get into like New Year's stuff like that. I find like, at least for me personally and like my fitness journey, like I feel like you kind of start to get like backlash from people that be like, oh, why? They kind of think it's cringe. People kind of think
to go to the gym.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, really? Why you want to go to the gym? Or like it was actually funny. It's all love though, but I had a conversation with a few people and they're like, oh, it's superficial to go to the gym. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why you want to like, you know,
look a certain way. Yeah. I get that.
You still get it even when you move up. But
you definitely, I feel like you'll always get it. I think I actually just have built up a muscle to ignore it. Like now that you say that, now I'm thinking about it and like being at the size I am, like not trying to sound boastful or anything. But people look at me, even like Justin will be like, why are you so big? So or I remember I was spending time with some family friends from Nigeria and be like, they call me one, you need to stop working out. You need to relax. You're getting too big. Like, what's going on? And I'm like, to me, I'm just like, that's fine. Like, that's your opinion. And the reality is, I'm not doing it for them. Like, it has nothing to do with them, but people will always have an opinion to tell you. And I really don't even think about it. I take it as a compliment. If you tell me I'm too big, thank you. If you tell me I'm too strong, thank you. Like, I'm happy to be too big. I'm happy to walk into a room and people turn around. I'm happy to walk onto the train and people be like, I don't know if I should decide that. You know what I mean? Those things make me happy because
it means you're doing something right.
Yeah, it means I'm doing my hard work is paying off. If I was spending an hour in the gym 5 days a week, every week for the last 8 years and nobody notices, that would be sad. Like if nobody was like, if I told people I'd go to the gym and they were like, you go to the gym? That would crush my heart, you know? That would be really sad. Because like there would be no proof of my hard work. But people literally look at me and instantly know there's a work ethic that is behind that. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's awesome. Like even going to church, people always probably think like it's vain to go to the gym. And it can be. I'm going to say this. It can be. It definitely can be. You can overdo it. You can, and that's when like the steroid conversation comes in because people take it too far, in my opinion. And like, I'm not going to hate on anyone that wants to take that route. That's fine by me. But for me, I feel like that's too far. And like, there are certain things where I completely understand in terms of even the steroid conversation, but there's definitely a line that you can cross. And I think it's definitely personal from person to person. Like if you're an athlete that like got injured and you take a steroid to heal your injury, that's different. That's completely different. That's like your livelihood, right? Or like you work a job and you need your shoulders and you have bad shoulders and you take a certain steroid to heal your shoulder. That's very different. You know what I mean? But so it's definitely personal from person to person. But I think, for me, I definitely take when people say, oh, you're too big or whatever. I never used to get it that much, but nowadays I definitely get it a lot, but I actually never ever think about it until you said it right now. Like it's just like, thank you. It's awesome. Because like you also get the opposite reaction where people are like, oh my God, you're so big. What do you do? And like, so it balances out. Easily. Like people are like, what do you eat? What do you blah, blah, what do you, and like people are really genuinely like amazed or impressed, you know? Like I remember this job that I work currently, like I work a part-time job. My boss always like, bro, I used to be as big as you. Always loves to say that. When I was your age, I used to be as big as you. I'm like, yeah, thanks. Like, I think I genuinely, it's nice. Thank you. You know, so I think it's awesome.
It's kind of like we're reverse engineering it as like a compliment.
Yeah, definitely. That's the way to look at it. I think like, if initially it can be discouraging, I think, especially like when your parents are saying that or people around you, your friends, it can be a little discouraging. But once you like understand your purpose and your reason and like you understand the value of it, then like, and there's tons of value that people don't understand. There's just more than just the health benefits. There's the psychological benefits. There's the physiological benefits. There's some spiritual benefits with it. So like people don't understand those. And I'm not about to preach to you about the gym. That's not my job. Like yes, I am a trainer and I'd love for everyone to go to the gym. But then again, if you don't want to go, that's fine. It's fine, that's your lifestyle. And I genuinely don't think the gym is for everyone, but that's a whole different conversation.
It's funny because I was actually like, the reason I bring this up and I put this question on the things is like I had a encounter a few days ago with some people, right? And they were saying like, yeah, superficial, like you don't need to go to the gym because like those benefits, to achieve those benefits of like the psychological benefits and doing like, and what's it called? You don't need to go to the gym to be healthier in shape. Like, I think you take this stuff too far. You should really think about your this unhealthy habit of yours. I'm like, dude, like, I don't know. I feel like people just get it so twisted. Like, I feel
people
like,
get it twisted.
I don't know. Like, the gym to me is like you said, I would never force it on anybody or whatever, right? But I don't know. I just seen the benefits that it's done in my life. So it's kind of like, why wouldn't I promote that? You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like it's definitely beneficial, but like in the world we live in, everybody feels like they know. Everyone thinks they know what's the way to do it. And if you know, cool, do it. Do it then. Yeah, you know what I mean? If you know how to do it, then you do it. You know? So like if you know how to be healthy. Right. So like just don't listen to what I have to say. That's fine. Yeah. So like I always get the the classic one I get is, I want to be fit and healthy, but I won't be as big as you. You're way too big. Nobody's like, did I tell you to be like, did I ask you to be like, what are you talking about? Like, just don't be. It's not like I woke up one morning. I was like, whoa, dude, like, what happened? Like, it didn't happen like that. It was consistent, conscious effort for me to get here. Just don't do that. Yeah, it's easy not to be like me. So, yeah, you're always gonna get people who make it seem like, oh, there is other ways to do it, and there is, and that's fine. You do it that way. But if I'm happy with the way I'm going, if I wasn't happy with it, I would have stopped. If I didn't think it was beneficial, I would have cut off the gym. But I've seen some benefits, and now I actually preach the benefits, and I try and help people see those benefits too and walk them through that process. So I'm trying to make a career out of it. So definitely I see the benefit, but not everybody will, and that's fine. Actually, yeah, I know you have a question about that, so I don't want to go ahead of myself too much, but yeah, no, you're always going to get those people. Yeah. Always.
I feel like it's definitely like, I don't know if you follow like Alex Hormozy.
Yeah.
He has a quote where he's like, the signs of like success is like the pushback you get along the way.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you know, like, you know, you're doing on the right path, and you have like resistance. People
telling you no, or what are you doing? That's crazy. Yeah, no, definitely. That's a good point. And I imagine you get that a lot with posting, because we could talk about this more off camera, but I know you be getting hate. I know you be getting hate. Like, people like talk to me because they know I know you, and they were like, what is Donne doing? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? He's just making content. And it's like, what is he trying to do? I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, so I'm like, you're just hating. Like, literally, I just tell them, you're literally just hating. And so I definitely agree with that statement. Like, lots of people will hate on you for no reason, no valid reason. Like, my thing is, like, why does it bother you? Like, why do you care? Like,
exactly.
Like, genuinely, why do you care? Like, you know, I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, the hate is just like, it's just proof that, like, you know, you're doing something right. And I've talked about this many times in different podcasts, where it's like, I see haters and supporters, they're two sides of the same coin. But haters, they just don't know how to show love. They're confused. They're kind of just like, like, I see this guy's glowing, but like, fuck this guy. Because they see the insecurity in themselves, like, screw this guy, man. Like, why is he doing so good? You know what I mean? Instead of being like, oh, he's doing good. That means I also have the ability to do the same thing like him. So that inspires, you know what I mean?
That's a good way to look at that. Two sides of the same coin. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. Definitely people always like hate for no reason. I don't get it.
It's the world we live in.
It's the world we live in.
You've got to be, used to it.
Yeah. And like, have that tough skin to ignore it, kind of. Like, I always get, sorry, before you ask me that question, I always get like, now that Instagram has like those GIFs, I get anytime I post like a slightly more revealing back photo or back video or something, I'll get the steroid, like, I'm like, you guys are not serious, man. And I know it's probably some 14-year-old being on this computer somewhere in the world, like,
on TikTok, right?
Yeah, both TikTok, Instagram, all of it, even YouTube, like all of it. But I just think it's funny. I actually think it's great.
I think it's funny, dude.
Yeah, it's great. It's awesome. But I just never thought like people would think, like, I knew people think that way, but I never thought it would happen to me, you know, type of thing. Like, me? You think I'm taking steroids? Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I remember I posted something too, like one time, like I posted like, 3 ways to gain muscle, and some guys like eat Trend sandwiches.
Yeah.
Or Trend. I kind of find those jokes funny because
they are funny.
It's just so out of the blue. Like, you're not even thinking that way.
Yeah. And there's a whole epidemic with the steroids and stuff. So I like, we could talk about that more. We will talk about that more. But yeah, I think it's causing people to have a skewed view of what is achievable and what isn't. Yeah. So yeah.
Speaking of that, on that steroid topic, do you think that because of like the uprise of steroids that I find people think it's more, what do you call it? How do I word this? Like they underestimate what you can do naturally because of steroids. Because when they see someone like me or you, they'll be like, "That's gotta be roids." Like,
yeah. I think when I first started working out, maybe this is a personal thing, but when I first started working out, I used to feel like it was the opposite. People overestimate what they could do naturally. That's what I thought, because like before you started working out, first like initial workout at all, before even being consistent, was probably like a decade ago now. Like, and people would be like, yeah, I want to look like this person, I want to look like that person, without really thinking about like they're actually using stuff, so you probably won't look at that. Yeah. And I said that last time we had a podcast. I said the person you're probably looking at, you're not gonna look like them. Yeah. And I said that, so I felt like people are overestimating. But nowadays, like in the last year, with the Trend Twins coming out, Alex Eubank, all these Samsung, all these new influencers coming out, and no hate to them, I think they have their place. I think it's cool that they're out there. And I don't really think they actually have to say their status. That's a whole another topic. But I think it's causing people to have a skewed view. And you're right, underestimate what's real, what's possible. And like, be like, well, anybody that's slightly big is using steroids. Yeah. Everybody that is but they don't realize that. I think the issue is most people get in gym, work out for 6 months, and expect to be like everyone, like they see on social media, and that's the issue. So they underestimate how much effort it takes to get to the place they desire, or get to where they see everyone else getting to. So I think that's the big problem. Definitely people underestimate what they can achieve, and there's this trend going on, like with a lot of trainers, like, if I've been doing this bench press, sit-ups, this thing for the last 8 years, how am I not gonna look like this? So like, and like, they're right. If you've been working out for that long, consistently, like with proper periodized training, and you've been really methodical about how you're approaching the way you work out and avoiding injuries, why wouldn't you be like ahead of 99% of people? Why wouldn't you? So yeah, I think it's kind of sad, like how much steroids are getting pushed forward. And now like we have peptides, we have like, there are more nuanced things that are really enticing for people. And like, and because it's more easily accessible, like I think I was reading a stat recently, like it was like 1 in 7 people that go to the gym will use steroids at once in their lifetime. So it's like, before it was 1 in 20, and then it dropped to 1 in 10 like 2-3 years ago. And then I don't know what happened after COVID, but now it's like 1 in 7. And I think that's crazy. Like, if you walk into a gym, you see 7 people, one of them is going to use steroids at some point in their life. That's scary, because steroids is not just like any other supplement. You take it, you get off, nothing happens. Some of them have like life-altering effects, like really, really detrimental effects. Like, it can literally change your trajectory in your life. Like, some of them literally stop you from having kids. Like, some of them literally stop you from being able to produce certain hormones. Like, scary stuff. Yeah. So, it's sad that it's getting pushed like it's just another supplement. Like, it should really be like, it bothers me not for the 20-year-olds and the older people. It bothers me for the teenagers. Yes. The people who, like, now I see tons. I'm 17 and I'm trend. I'm 15 and I'm on this. I'm 14 and on this. Like, and I'm like, this is scary.
That's scary.
This is scary. They're already saying that the average testosterone of people our age has dropped since the 1940s. I'm predicting with everything going on, it would drop even more. So that's scary. Yeah. Yeah. It's a sad conversation to have. And definitely like, I think if you're a parent that is in the gym, that's a real conversation to have with your kid and be like, especially if you see they have an interest, be like, hey, there is this, but just hold back. You don't have to tell them not to do it. Just hold back. Let your body fully develop at least. Like fully develop, like wait till you're in your 20s. Have fun. Do whatever you want. You know what I mean? But like let all your growth spurts happen. Let your body's hormones naturalize or kind of get stable before you start putting all these foreign substances into your body. That's how I look at it. But yeah.
For real, I feel that like all these kids, cause like they don't have enough testosterone to even like build muscle yet, so they already think like, you know, cause they see like, I hate to like blame it on like, for example, like movies and TV shows, they see like these jacked guys or whatever, right? But I think it's just having that conversation that like, yo, like, you're young, you're not gonna look like Chris Hemsworth at like 16 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, give it time, let your body develop. And even for like these young 20-year-olds that want to go on like TRT, I'm tired, I need TRT, I'm tired. Like, my testosterone's not what it used.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, I don't know.
I like, see, personally, this might be controversial, but I'm not against TRT. But, like you said, wait till, if you're TRT and you're a 20-year-old, wait till you're in your 30s. Like, or finish having kids. Like, just be a little bit responsible and patient with it. Like, don't feel like you have to rush. But I think this is like a bigger issue. This is an issue with our whole like generation, kind of. Like, everybody wants to, like, I think Alex Hormozi said like a stat, like, I think it's like, what is it? It's like 80% of teenagers in high school think they're going to be a millionaire by 25 or something.
Oh shit.
Like,
yeah,
something like that. It was something bizarre like that. And then he was like, that's delusional. That's delusion. And it's true.
Yeah.
Because the reality is probably only 0.5 or 0.1% or 0.01% of those teenagers are actually going to be millionaires by 25. But like, we have this get rich quick or get big quick or get strong quick or get fit quick idea in our minds where we want everything as quickly as possible. We don't have that patience to wait. Like, and I always think about it, like, if you're a millionaire at 25 or you're as rich as you can be at 25, what are you going to do with the rest of your life?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Like, you're going to be purposeless. No, think about it. If at 20, like, you hit the age of 25, you get the body you want, all the money you could ever use, what would you do? From 25 to, the average person lives to 65. From 25 to 65, that's 40 years. What are you going to do? Are you just going to not do anything with your life? So I think it's always like, an interesting paradox because we always want it quick, but we don't realize the consequence of actually having it quickly. Like, like most people who get that big or get super strong or get super fit before they're in their 20s, they don't stay consistent because you already reached like the pinnacle. Like it's not going to interest you anymore. There's this kid, there was a kid bodybuilder in the 80s or 90s. I forget his name now, but he was like benching 225 by the time he was 12, doing all these crazy lifts. And now he's in his 30s. He does not want to lift. He just finds it boring. I don't blame the kid. He started when he was 8 or 9. Like, if you do it from 8 till you're 20, by the time you're done, after that time, you're not going to have as much interest.
Reached it already.
Yeah, you already reached what you're going to reach and you're not going to have interest anymore. So I think, just taking the time with it, just enjoy the process of getting big or cutting down or, and watch your years just accumulate slowly. And it would surprise you what will happen, to be honest. Yeah. So, no.
I definitely agree with what you said there. That was like, cause that's something I've been thinking about. Like, I'm actually, that's the reason why I'm like, not envious, but I feel like these guys that are just starting out in the gym, just starting the gym journey, I kind of wish I could go back to being like, the beginning, because the journey was just the unknown of like, oh, am I gonna get big? Like, is this even gonna work?
That was the most exciting part.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you like work out for 3 months and then you're like, oh, damn, I'm like double amount of muscle. I gained double amount of muscle than I ever did in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty crazy. You're never gonna get that again. So enjoy the process. Like there are people out there nowadays who take steroids before starting to work out. How sad is that? You know?
Messed up.
Yeah. Like you don't even, you're like, oh, they have this idea that before even hitting the gym, they need to take certain enhancement. And that's why, like, yeah, I don't want to get into it. I was going to talk about the supplement industry, but I don't want to hate on them today. But yeah, no, that's fair. Like, no, it's definitely sad, but I think it's a good lesson to learn from and be able to try and encourage people around you to just take your time with it. Enjoy what you're doing. Like if you like a sport, maximize the gym for that sport. You don't need to do your sport and get big and do all those things at the same time. Enjoy your sport. Like get faster, get quicker, get more explosive for your sport. Do that. And then once you're done your sport, you can pursue other things, right? So I think for everything, there's a time and there's a season, right? So you don't need to jump the gun on many of these things in life. So yeah.
That's facts. I was gonna mention, you did bring up I did have a question on supplements, but it's just kind of a basic one about like, just like, what should, like for new lifters going into January, like what should they expect when it comes to like supplements? Cause like, I feel like these guys, some people will kind of over like think like supplements and be like, oh, I need this, like instead of just
that's what I was
diet.
that was what I was gonna say basically. Like, yeah, no, supplements is. Do you take any supplements?
Like I just take the, what do you call that? Like pre-workout and then post, but I don't even take these things all the time. It's like once every, like I'm be real. Sometimes when the bank account is not saying much, I just don't buy them.
Yeah, that's
right.
fair.
And I'm fine without it for a couple months, like here and there, you know, when I have it.
That's fair. No, they're not cheap, man. They're definitely not cheap. That was the one thing that shied me away from them to start with, because when you start working out, you're broke and you don't want to. Like for me, I didn't want to start telling my parents, oh, buy me this, buy me that, because I'm like, this is my interest. I want to do what I want to do, right? I don't need my parents to start buying me all these things for me to start this hobby, right? But to answer the question, what supplements does a newbie, I'll just go that way, then what supplement does somebody new to the gym need? None. That's it. We could talk about it all day, but none. The supplement you need is going in the gym. You need a supplement sitting on your couch with being in the gym. That's the supplement you need. So like, you don't need any real supplements to start. Now, when you get more advanced, like you or me or anybody that has been in the gym for over a year or two, then or you have specific demands, then you can research a little bit. Like for instance, let me say it like this though. When I think supplements, I think creatine, protein, amino acids, BCAAs, like all these things, like those. I don't think vitamins, minerals, those are different. But vitamins, minerals, if you want to supplement those, please do. Like if you go to your doctor, you get your blood work done, the doctor tells you, like for us black people, we're low on vitamin D and you should supplement it, right? So that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't supplement the things recommended by a doctor or vitamins and minerals. Those are always great to supplement because unfortunately the foods we eat nowadays don't have the same high quality of vitamins and minerals that they used to. So it's always good to supplement those. But in terms of specifically like gym supplements like creatine and protein powder.
I've actually never taken creatine before.
And yeah, I mean, I've taken creatine, but not heavily. Like I've taken it, probably took it for 1 week and then stopped, right?
Yeah.
So not enough to actually see the effects, but you're right. You don't really need it.
Yeah.
Like it didn't stop you from getting big. Like it didn't stop you from gaining muscle. Does it help? Of course it helps. Like right now I'm supplementing protein just because I have to eat so much protein. And I can't eat, like I already eat so much meat and beef, like there's only so much I can eat.
Right.
And at the body weight I am, I need to supplement to get adequate amounts, right? But for everyone, for the average person, do you need to supplement protein? Hell no. You don't. Like if you're new to the gym and you just start working out, especially if you're a guy. I say if you're a guy because men have better muscle building potential. If you're a woman and you want to get offended, I'm sorry. It's just true. But like, yeah, men have better muscle building potential than women have just because of higher testosterone levels. It's a hormonal thing, it has nothing to do with, like, whatever. But, yeah, so if you're a dude and you're in the gym, you don't really need supplements. But even as a woman, you don't really need supplements. Like, it's only if, let's say, you're really determined and you want to do a 360 change, guy or woman, and you have a specific goal and you have a plan. Okay, that's different. And you're like, okay, there's certain nutritional goals I need to hit. Then maybe supplementation might be necessary, right? So it depends. It really depends. But general rule of thumb, you don't need anything. General rule of thumb. For 99% of people that are new to the gym, you don't need nothing. Yeah, that's my thought.
It's facts. It's facts. How we do for time? I'm just curious. Like,
I hit an hour soon.
I hit an hour soon? All right.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Want to talk about, should we get into like content creation stuff?
Yeah. I'll ask the questions now.
Bet.
Yeah. So how long have you been making content now?
I've been making content since 2020. It was COVID. I got bored.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So like, what is the biggest hurdle for you when making content? Like, what do you find to be the hardest thing
for making content? That's a good question. The hardest thing about creating content? There's a lot of difficult things, but I think maybe the hardest thing is just like...
Is it posting? Is it creating the content? Is it idea compilation? Is it like just like being consistent with filming? Is it what do you find to be like everything else would be easy if I could have this done by someone else or something?
Oh, yeah, editing.
It's
not the fact that it's necessarily hard, it's just time consuming. Like the goal is one day I'd probably hire someone to do at least some of the editing.
Yeah.
Right? Like
most of the big content creators do that, right?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, they always have someone editing. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the hardest parts. Was it for you same?
Oh yeah. Well for me, like I think I haven't built the muscle yet of doing all of it, and I want to say props to you, man. Content creating is, I used to see it as, like anybody could do that, but it's definitely a job. Like it's hard. It's hard work, man. Like, from filming to editing to posting to understanding what your audience wants, to what time to post, to length of video, to what your audience prefers, like in terms of timing versus this timing versus how to do your edits versus what are the, like improving your gear, like getting a better camera. Like there's so much to think about. And then once you put that all together and trying to do that, and let's say if you have, like for us, if you have school or if you have a job, then it's clumsy. It gets very overwhelming sometimes, right? So, yeah, I give you all the props, man. Like,
Thanks, man. Appreciate
like,
that.
no, it's not easy, man. Yeah. And for you, you have like a podcast, you have, like a fitness page. Yeah, I'm just like, bro, I don't even know how that guy does it, man. Like, to be honest, like,
To be honest, I don't even know how I do it myself. Honestly.
yeah,
Like it's one of
yeah.
those things. It's just I don't know. I really try to do time management
Mhm.
and trying to focus in and be like, okay, today I'm focusing on fitness content. I'm filming it today, and then okay, this day I'm gonna schedule in time, edit this for this page,
Mhm.
edit for this page,
Mhm.
and kind of try and like,
Yep.
you know.
Yeah, balance the scales. Like, yeah, no,
Mm.
that's a hard thing, man. So like, what is one thing you would recommend? Like, what is the one thing you assumed, like you knew, and then you stepped in and you're like, wow, this is not what I thought it would be in terms of content creating or even whatever. It could be how people respond to your videos or whatever, stuff like that.
So many things. So many things, man.
Go ahead, list them out, man.
Like first of all, like you know how like I just thought like I can just step on camera and people will love me off rip and
Mhm.
this is all I'm gonna blow up next tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. You gotta realize algorithm
Hmm.
and like the attention span. I had to realize that like not everybody thinks like me.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So I have to kind of like I realize I have to take into account what the audience
Just thinking.
is thinking. That's
Mhm.
one thing that I had to think of. And then another thing is like, how do I say this? Like going into the whole content space,
Mhm.
like you kind of meet different people and like a lot of times like you kind of they see people like they're not who they appear to be like
Yeah, yeah. I
off camera.
remember I was thinking about you. You told me a story about this guy you met on like through social media, and like he's kind of blown up now, and if you've been a little odd, and yeah, and I was like, yeah, I definitely like was like, wow, that's really interesting. Yeah, but like I definitely understand what you're saying more, because trying to do collabs with people, even just organizing stuff, people act kind of entitled a little
Yeah.
bit, and it's like, okay, you have the same amount of followers I do. What are you talking about?
That thing kind of like that's the one that cheeses me the most because
Mhm.
obviously like if someone blew up whatever they got a million followers, it's like
Mhm.
okay, it's still kind of weird you're moving
Yeah,
this way, but it's whatever because
yeah, it's more
yeah.
understandable.
But if someone's the same, I'm
Yeah,
like, dude,
like what are you talking about?
you know, no, for real though, it's like, dude, like, what do you have to prove, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's how I think about it too, and I'm like, wow, like it's really surprising me. And some people we both know,
Yeah, yeah,
like we both know them,
yeah,
and like they act like they don't know us. It's like,
yeah.
okay, that's fine, man. I guess you do what you want to do, but a lot of gatekeeping happening,
Yes.
which is sad, but I think human beings, and that's why I like you said Alex Hormozy. That's why I really like him. Like a lot of entrepreneurs, I think it's changing now with social media, but
Mhm.
a lot of entrepreneurs, especially back in the day, would feel like they had to protect information because they don't want anyone else to find out about it,
Mhm.
and it might ruin their chance of success.
Right,
So, but he literally has free books and has free things
right. Mhm.
and gives free information all the time.
Mhm.
And it's like, even me as like starting to be a business owner, it challenged me. I was like, damn, like, how are you going to give all your info out? Like,
Yeah.
or it feels like he's giving all
Give
his,
it all away. As
yeah,
you said.
yeah, like what? Like, how you do that?
Mhm.
Because if you give everything away, then what do they pay for?
Right, right.
But I started to understand that your value as a content creator, entrepreneur cannot really be bought. Like what you have to offer is unique to everyone else.
Mhm.
So once you understand that, you start to hone that, and that's what is going to really set you apart from everyone else. So yeah, it's definitely, as much as I can hate on people who reject collabs, I can see myself doing it too in the sense of like wanting to gatekeep information or not being like as like sometimes I have calls with people that I know just want to know the information I have to give without like hiring me.
Yeah.
And like I used to be really skeptical about like how much should I tell them? Should I tell them? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But now I'm kind of like, okay, just ask me and I'll tell you. Like, but now the question is, are you gonna do it? Yeah, that's a whole nother thing, right? So, yeah, I'm starting to learn that too as I'm going. Yeah, that's really interesting that you said that. Yeah.
100% when you said about the giving it all away for free type thing, the gatekeeping and stuff, because I feel like when you give, you actually like receive more.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you give away like the
Preach
information
it,
and stuff.
preach it.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, go back to biblical. I'm pretty sure the Bible says you gotta give, right?
Yeah.
When you give and you tell, you receive more because when you're giving away that information, right? People are gonna be, oh, this guy's really smart. I should pay for his services. Yeah. Rather than gatekeeping, he doesn't really know much. Maybe I should be skeptical.
Yes. Well, that's crazy that you said that. It just triggered a conversation I had yesterday, and like they were saying like because I apparently gave them an advice of telling them like why ask advice from somebody if you don't know that they can help you. And now I'm like, that's a good point because so now if I gatekeep information, how will somebody know that I can help them? Right. So it's coming in full circle for me, even though it seems really obvious, but like really giving out information makes people aware that you know what you're doing, you know what you're talking about, you are aware versus trying to gatekeep it. You might actually lose more that way versus giving it out. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's facts, man. Like definitely like just giving away for free, like change the game.
Yeah, I can imagine. So what is kind of your plan moving forward? I don't know if you want to talk about this on camera, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What's your plan moving forward for the year in terms of like content creation? Is there anything new we should be expecting? Is there anything like what, do you understand my question?
Yeah, like what kind of plans do I have for content creation and stuff like that? Yeah, I've got some plans. Like I've got I started doing this new thing last year called the Black History Month podcast. I'm pretty excited. I already started working on it. I'm writing the scripts for it and stuff like that. Writing not really a script, but like just writing ideas and stuff I'm gonna talk about. I feel like it's something I'm really kind of like in a way passionate about, like learning about Black history and stuff. So it's
I think I've seen one of those videos about like Mansa Musa and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool because there are people out there who are aware of the history that we have as Black people for sure. So that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that's one of the major ones. Honestly, just like growing more online. I'm really just trying to grow my social media, just trying to reach more, get more followers, you know what I mean? Learn the algorithm more. I might start like taking a more active role in like the fitness training and using content, stuff like that. But yeah, you guys will see all of that. I don't want to reveal too much, but just give a little
exactly.
I'm not gatekeeping, but like, I'm like
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's just funny that we're talking about that just a second ago. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Actually, just a side note. I feel like here's the thing. I think when it's in terms of like gatekeeping, like how do I say it? Like gatekeeping, I talked about this in the last video. Like gatekeeping goals and stuff is different. I think.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but sorry, finish.
Yeah, gatekeeping goals is different because it's like like I said last video, like some people might try and talk you out of it and be like, oh, like why would you do that, bro? That sounds dumb. Like you know what I mean? Like you tell a dream to a small thinker, easy way to kill a dream, right? But when it comes to like stuff like information that's like valuable that has helped you, like just give that away, right? You gotta have an abundance that just because you give away tips and secrets, there's enough room for us to all win type of thing.
I like that. There's enough room for us to all win.
Yeah.
And sad part, not everyone is gonna win. Not everyone.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's just true. It's just the reality of life. not everyone's going to win. So I never worry about like who else is going to win with me. Like, are they going to stop me for winning? But yeah, I like what you said about like, not gatekeeping, but protecting your goals.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to not tell the whole world about your goals because nobody likes a person who talks big and then achieves little. I'd rather talk little and achieve big. That's definitely how I think for sure. Like, yeah, no, you don't want to be the boy who cried wolf. Like, no, you don't. Like, you don't want to say all these things and not do any of them because like for me, it hunts me. It hunts me. Like if I tell somebody that I'm going to do something, like when I told you, oh, I'm going to send you a program and I forgot, I feel genuinely bad. Like I'm like I know there's a lot going on, but because I said I would, like I feel obligated to do it now. So, that's why I try and be very careful what I say, but I often slip up. But yeah, no, you're right. It's very hard, but this kind of, you triggered my next question when you were talking about growing your page. Do you ever have a fear of fame?
Yes. It's crazy you actually asked me that. I didn't think it was possible, but I do have that fear. I do.
What comes with that? What causes that fear for you?
For me, it's the fear of just having all the eyeballs on you and the fear of like, is this going to change who I am? Am I going to start acting a fool? Because you see all these famous guys get clout, like money, fame, and power and stuff. Like, is that going to change who I am? Like, like I feared like, even just like the fear of like success. Like, am I able to handle it? Am I even capable to handle the pressure of that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the fear.
Yeah, no, like as a man, that's kind of always, and that's part of like setting a goal that you don't know for a fact that you can achieve, right? It's that fear, like, will I actually get there? And if I get there, like, will I actually be able to handle it or be able to retain that success? So I think that's definitely hard, definitely for me too. Same experience, like. And I think that's like, you have all these ideas in your head and execution is one thing, but you have a fear of like becoming something different, you know, and like changing. And yeah, you're right in the sense of kind of the reason I asked that question is we are all aware of how like fame changes people. Like it's very obvious. Like social media making it very apparent, but even if you think about like, for instance, Disney kids.
Yes.
Like how fame changed them, or like people who gain fame later in life, or lots of people. For instance, the person that's come to mind is Patrick Mahomes, his brother or cousin or whatever. That guy. Like, like fame changed him, and like we never knew him before that, and then all of a sudden it's all over social media, right? So it's like it definitely changes people and makes you a completely different person. So definitely that fear is always in the back of my head.
Definitely with that fear though, I found ways to kind of combat it. Like with the first aspect of
Please educate me, please.
The first aspect of like, what's it called? This fearing like changing or whatever is just accepting the fact that we're all human and on the way to fame, we're gonna make mistakes. As much as you want to avoid it, you're gonna screw up, right? We're only human beings. I think it's just one of those things. It's just as long as you keep God close and just understand that you're gonna look at David, like King David, right? You got the became the king or whatever. He did some messed up stuff, but as long as you stay close to God and stuff like that, like He's gonna bring you back on path.
I love that you brought up David. I absolutely love that you brought up David. But you're right.
The second aspect to it too is where that fear of success, of like the fear of like, oh, am I able to change? Am I able to be something different? I'm gonna get a little personal here, but like I saved this quote, the Coach Carter quote, where it's like our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, but we are powerful beyond measure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to sum it short, like, it's like who are you not to be, right? Who are you not to be great, right? Because the glory of God is within all of us, right? And us not like expressing that, it's kind of, it does a disservice to everyone else, because then they can't get inspired off that, and they can't reach their true potential too. So I think we're all meant to reach our true potential. So we have to kind of get out of that fear of success. We have to really just start embracing it, and just, that's why I saved it on my phone, because I remind myself every morning. Whenever I feel that fear, I look at my phone and be like, hey, like,
Where this guy is touching my heart. I just want to go think about my whole life again. No, but that's really powerful, man. Like, yeah. What's that Coach Carter quote? Say it again.
Like, our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, but we are powerful beyond measure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. That's I have no words. That's awesome. I think that's a good place to wrap it up, I think.
For real.
That's awesome. That's a word to live it on. Yeah.
Oh, God, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, bro.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Yeah.
This is a great pod, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, it is. Please turn in, comment, like, subscribe, everything, man.
Where can people find you?
Yeah, like I said, TikTok. There's more stuff coming up on there. Instagram, YouTube also. That my YouTube is starting off too. Like, please follow, subscribe, like everything. Just keep commenting. Hate, positivity, everything. Please just comment, right? So yeah, like, more things coming up. If you need any training programs, advice, I have a link in my bios. Just click them and it will take you to a form you can fill out. You'll be able to get a program from me. You hear from me, you get an email from me. If you want just have any training questions or health related questions, injury related questions, health related questions, just DM me on any of my social medias. I usually get back to you in the same day or the next day. So yeah, thanks for having me on, Don.
Word up.
Yeah.